Exactly 1 month ago, I set myself a challenge: learn how to build a game from scratch. I've always believed that the best way to learn something is to bring an idea to life. So I thought, what if I made a football game but with blue lock abilities? Yo, I'm Aaron, a second year computer science student, and in today's video I'll be showcasing the progress I've made on my blue lock style football game during my semester break. So the aim was to create a game that people would actually enjoy, so I wanted it to have fast-paced high school gameplay where movement, precision and timing are key, overpowered abilities that feel satisfying, and a competitive multiplayer experience with real outplay potential. For movement animations, I used the free game animation sample project from Epic Games because, let's be real, the fluidity of these animations is too good not to use, especially in a football context since they'd allow you to read your opponent's body movements, making skillful plays like faking or baiting your opponents possible. But if you've used this animation pack before, you'd know that it isn't multiplayer ready. So I've had to rebuild the networking from scratch, keeping the animations but making it playable even with hyping. For the first map, I've recreated the setting from the second selection arc of the anime. The pitch follows a standard 7v7 football size, 60 meters by 36 meters. But in a game setting, to me it feels a bit small, so this pitch would probably be used as a 3v3 or 5v5 map. I couldn't find a suitable short grass texture, so I had to get creative. After some digging, I settled on using parallax occlusion mapping to create the illusion of depth in this material. This gives the benefit of better performance, and instead of placing thousands of physical grass textures, this method keeps it resource efficient while still looking great. Next are the goals. I modeled these in Blender following a tutorial, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The net may look like it's sagging, but the collision is actually flat. I attempted to mimic real net physics with the ball colliding into it, but Unreal Engine's cloth physics isn't quite there yet for this kind of interaction. The dribbling mechanic is pretty straightforward. The longer you hold down the dribble button, the more power that gets exerted to the ball once you release it. Dribbles get kicked in the direction your character is moving towards and is controlled with WASD. The animations aren't that seamless since I'm learning as I go, but for now they get the job done. The shooting follows a similar logic to dribbling and gets more powerful the longer you hold down the button before releasing it. However, aiming the shot is controlled with the mouse. You can flick up for height or flick down for a low shot. And of course, curved shots are important, but here's the problem. Unreal's physics engine doesn't properly replicate ball spin. So if you apply spin and force, the ball just lies in a straight line. So I fixed that by manually implementing the real-world physics formula behind the curving effect to calculate curve based on the actual force that's been applied to the ball. Similar to controlling the height, you can flick left or right to apply spin to the ball. Of course, you can also combine both, and the amount of spin or height added isn't fixed and dynamically adjusts based on the speed and distance of your flick before releasing the shoot button. Physical battles are a big aspect of football blue lock, and by implementing it, I plan to enable the following 3 things. By pushing an attacker, defenders may be able to steal the ball, forcing the attacker to be more cautious when dodging and dribbling around them. Also, this adds an entertainment factor in chaotic scenarios like free kicks and indirect free kicks. Character attributes, so some characters could have a higher resilience or pushing strength compared to other characters. And finally, ability triggers. Many blue lock characters rely on physical contact for their special moves, so conditions like did I push into my opponent, are they pushing into me, or are we both pushing into each other, could be the trigger for some abilities. Now for the fun part. Although I spent most of my time on the core mechanics, I do have 2 abilities ready to show off. This ability slightly increases the shot power while doubling the curve effect. This shot significantly increases shot power but sacrifices curve. Of the 2, this one's definitely the closest to its anime counterpart, but honestly I'm pretty proud of how they turned out given my zero experience in creating visual effects. If you've played online games, you know that bad networking equals bad experience. So I've added client-side prediction to make gameplay feel more responsive. As soon as the client kicks the ball, on their screen the kick animation plays. Then, after the server validates the kick, it adds force to the ball and plays the kick animation for everyone else. For actions like dribbling and shooting to occur, the game tests the position of the player relative to the location of the ball. However, at high pings this logic can break, since by the time the server receives input from the client, the current location of the ball on the server is not the same location that the client reacted to. Ideally, the way to implement a lag compensation would be to base the server-side hit logic on the ball's rewinded position based on the latency of the input. For now, I've applied a lazy patch by increasing the radius of the server-side hit detection, which is scaled depending on how high the player's latency is. That's everything I've got to show for now. The reason I made this video was to see the amount of interest in this kind of game as I head into my next semester of uni. So if you see yourself playing this game and would like to see it being further developed, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And thank you for watching.